How I faced my biggest fears in 4 weeks and became more confident. Everyone has fears that hold them back, and these fears can be significant barriers to achieving goals or simply living a happy life. For me, my fears revolved around failure, speaking in front of others, and the unknown. These fears negatively impacted my life, but one day I decided to take them head on. Over 4 weeks, I embarked on a journey of personal transformation that left me more confident and prepared to face the world. Week 1. Identifying and analyzing my fears. The first step in overcoming any fear is to understand it. I started by sitting down in a quiet place with a notebook and listing out all the fears that were holding me back. I identified my biggest fears and described how they made me feel and why I believed they existed. Questions I asked myself: what's the worst that could happen if I face this fear? Is this fear real, or is it just an exaggeration in my mind? What small steps can I take to start overcoming it? Key realization: most of my fears were based on unrealistic or exaggerated thoughts. Understanding this helped me feel more in control. Week 2. Stepping outside my comfort zone gradually. In the second week, I decided to take small steps toward facing my fears. For instance, if I was afraid of public speaking, I started by talking to family and friends about simple topics. If I feared failure, I intentionally took on a small task where I might make mistakes, but resolved to learn from them instead of focusing on failure. Results? I realized that failure isn't the end of the world. It's a natural part of learning. My fears began to diminish as I approached them rather than avoiding them. Week 3. Mental exercises and building self-confidence. This week, I focused on boosting my confidence through various mental exercises. Exercises I practiced: positive thinking exercise. Every morning, I wrote down 3 good things about myself. I shifted my focus from my flaws to my accomplishments. Mirror affirmations. I stood in front of a mirror daily and spoke positive affirmations like, "I am strong and capable of facing anything." Deep breathing and relaxation techniques. Whenever I felt fear creeping in, I used deep breathing to calm myself and stay focused. Impact: I gained better control over my thoughts and emotions. I became more aware of my strengths and weaknesses and learned how to leverage them. Week 4. Real confrontation and application. After mentally preparing myself and practicing small steps, I decided to directly face my biggest fears. Steps I took: spoke in front of a large group for the first time. I was nervous at first, but I reminded myself of the breathing techniques and positive affirmations I had practiced. Once I finished, I felt a huge sense of accomplishment for breaking a barrier that seemed insurmountable. Started a small project I had feared failing at. Despite making a few mistakes, I kept going and learned a lot in the process. Results: I overcame several fears that had been holding me back for years. I felt a newfound sense of confidence in my ability to tackle future challenges. Lessons learned from the experience: fear isn't always the enemy. Often, fear can be a motivator for growth if you choose to face it instead of running from it. Small steps make a big difference. You don't have to conquer everything at once. Gradual progress is key. Confidence comes from within. Don't wait for others to validate you. Build your confidence through small achievements and self-affirmation. Experience beats imagination. Fear is usually more powerful in your mind than in reality. Facing it often reveals that it's not as daunting as you thought. Conclusion: in just 4 weeks, I was able to face my biggest fears and transform into a more confident and capable person. This journey was filled with challenges, but it was also full of small victories that added up to create a significant change. If you're struggling with fears that are holding you back, start with a small step today. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite feeling afraid. Don't forget your support for the channel, and thank you for watching.